Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're fine. Today's lesson is a writing lesson and it's about present simple and continuous. Let's start by the objectives of the training unit. Comprehend and respond with more grammatical accuracy to spoken and written English and demonstrate cultural awareness. Now read the following passage and then write a paragraph about how do you contact your friends or how do you keep in touch with people. Of course, I'm gonna read this passage to you and you have to write paragraphs about this in your home. Alma Jones. I usually use email. It's quicker and easier than anything else. But I regret I get a lot of spam. There is nothing worse than spam when you're really busy. Tim Henry. I like to write letters. I know regular mail is slower than email, but letters are more personal, and I never send those e-cards. I just think it's nicer to get a real card. Mayumi Sato. I send text messages to my friends all day. It's more fun than calling. And you can send photos too. Too bad I can't do it in class. Ken Johnson. Well, at work we use video conferencing. It's less expensive than a business trip. And more convenient. And you don't get jet lag either. Peku Rodriguez. I use a webcam to keep in touch with my aunt and uncle. They think it's better than the photo because they can't see me. I guess it's more interesting. Okay. Now the following 3 slides will be a homework so you can do it in your home. Okay. Now let's talk about the present simple and the present continuous. Let's start by talking about the present simple tense. The use. When I say, I go to school every day. Can you guess the use of the present simple now? Yeah, a finite action happening in the present. For example, I buy milk, then I drive home. Or a habitual action. He likes shopping. I walk to work on Tuesdays. A fact or an abstract action. What happens when you die? For example. Now let's have a look at the form of the present simple tense. Of course, we have to start with the subject of the sentence like I, you, we, they. Then I have to use the base form. And if I use he or she or it as the subject, so I have to put the use or to put the base form plus s. Okay, for example, I eat, you eat, we eat. Okay, and if I say he, I have to put s or to add s to the base form. For example, he eats, she eats, they eat, of course, because it's plural. Okay, now let's talk about the negative form of the present simple. How to make a negative sentence. After the subject, I have to put do or does. Do with I, we, you, and they, and does with he or she or it or any singular noun. For example, and of course, if I have to make a negative sentence, I have to put not. So do not, does not. For example, I do not eat or I don't eat. You do not eat or you don't eat. He does not eat or he doesn't eat. So that's about the negative form of the present simple. Okay, how to make a question. To make a question in the present simple tense, I have to start with do or does, then the subject, then the base form of the verb. For example, do I eat And of course, this is a yes or no question, so I have to answer with yes or no. So if I ask, do I eat? So I can say yes I do or no I don't. Do you eat? No you don't, or yes you do. Okay? Does he eat? Yes he does, or no he doesn't. Okay. The negative question in the present simple is rare, so I can say do I not eat? Don't I eat? And of course we don't use it much. Okay. Do I not eat? Don't I eat? Do you not eat? Don't you eat? Of course all of these are rare. Okay, now let's talk about the present continuous. When I say I am eating right now, I am eating now. Can you guess the use of the present continuous here? Excellent. An action in progress right now. For example, Emma is beating the dog. Another use of the present continuous, an action in progress in the general present. For example, I'm reading that book. Or an action planned for the near future. For example, he's flying to Paris tomorrow. Okay, now let's talk about the form of the present tense, present continuous. Okay, I have to start with the subject, of course, then I have to put verb to be. Then the verb plus ing. For example, I am eating, or I am eating. You are eating, or you're eating. He is eating, or he's eating. Okay, to make a negative sentence using the present continuous, I have to put not after verb to be. So instead of saying I'm eating, I can say I am not eating, or I'm not eating. You are not eating, or you aren't eating, or you're not eating. He is not eating, or he isn't eating, or he is not eating. To make a question using the present continuous, I have to start with verb to be, then the subject, then the verb plus ing. Of course, that's a yes or no question. For example, I can say am I eating? Are you eating? Is he eating? Okay, I can also make a negative question like am I not eating? Are you not eating? Is he not eating? And so on. Okay, so now I can say that the difference between the present simple and the present continuous or the present progressive is in this question. In general or right now. If I'm talking about something happens in general, or to express that something happens in general, I have to use excellent the present simple tense. But if I'm talking about something that's happening right now, I have to use the present progressive or the present continuous. So I use the present simple to talk about something happens in general, regularly or often or never happens. For example, Colin plays football every Tuesday. And of course, I use the present simple also to talk about present actions happening one after another. For example, first Colin plays football, then he watches TV. But when I talk about present progressive or present continuous, I have to use the present progressive to talk about something that's happening right now. It's happening right now. For example, look, Colin is playing football now. And also for several actions happening at the same time. For example, Colin is playing football and Anne is watching. Now let's have a look at the signal words that I can use with the present simple and with the present progressive. I use present simple tense if I have these words: always, often, usually, seldom, never, first, then, every. For example, every Tuesday, every Monday, and so on. Normally and sometimes. And if I see these words like at the moment, at this moment, today, now, right now, listen, or look, I have to use the present progressive or the present continuous. Note that the following verbs are usually only used in the simple present, like be, have, here, now, or no, sorry, like, love, see, smell, think, and want. Okay. This slide will be a homework. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon.